You can never reach your greatest capacity if you don't learn to make your money make money. That's called passive income. So I just came back from a conference where, my passion at this point in life is to teach people how to create passive income off of their income. So you can't just save your money and do nothing with it. You have to find a way. If you want to be wealthy, you have to find a way to make your money make money. That's the whole key. At the conference, obviously, it's a common conversation of how do we do that? And a lot of people are working day to day and they're collecting their check. But the problem is they haven't set a target, number one. So what's your target? What's your end goal? What does that look like?
Right.
When you're 20, obviously you're like, oh, that's so far away, it doesn't matter. But when you're 50 or even 40, then what?
Yeah, it creeps up on you.
Creeps up really quick and you just wake up one day, right? And here you are. So the question becomes, how do we do that? Well, first, you have to save some money.
Yeah. That's hard for a lot of people.
It's hard for a lot of people. Why? What do I always say? What's it called? It starts with a D.
D?
Yeah. Delayed.
Oh, delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification. You have to
So
exercise some delayed gratification. Because if you can't control your money now, you'll never have anything later. And if you don't have anything later, you'll never get to the point to where you can invest and have freedom. Because really what we're talking about is freedom. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the real word. So I coach people, and in that conversation, I ask them, what are you doing? What's your freedom goal?
Yeah.
What's your dream number of your per month income? If you're like, hey, if we're just dreaming here, this is what I'd really like to see, because if I had X amount, then we could do this, we could do that, we could do that. So I had a conversation with a couple, and that's exactly the conversation. I said, how do you know what your target is if you don't have a number?
Right. Do most people have a number? Like when you ask them that, does it catch them off guard, or do a lot of people, have they thought about this before?
98% of the time, they do not have a number.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, a lot of the conversations I have with are business owners, entrepreneurs, real estate agents, those people, and they're always working for the day to day. But I ask them, I'm like, what happens when you stop working? What happens if you're unable to work? What happens if you don't get any listings? What happens if, your business, something happens to you, you're in the hospital and you can't be there every day?
Yeah.
Income stops.
Right.
It stops. It literally stops. So the whole goal, if people could decide early on, hey, what's my number? What's my target? And then work towards how quick can I get myself replaced? Work towards delegating and finding people who can do the work for you or work with you, because life is always much better when there's somebody else. It's no different than a marriage.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So that's the key. The key is, how do I save some money, which comes from delayed gratification? Then what do I do with that money? Well, you have to find a way to invest it or get into something else. So for us, real estate, we started real estate way back when, but one of the couples I was talking with today, I'm like, okay, great. So you want the passive income and you're going to invest when?
Right.
Well, when I get further down the road. And I said, well, you realize when you're further down the road, it's further down the road in the time that you have left in your life too, and it hasn't begun building or compounding. So
you're losing all that.
You lose the magic of compounding, which is, one of the wonders of the world. Who said it? I can't remember. Somebody said it's like one of the 8 wonders of the world, compounding interest. Some say it was, oh my gosh, Berkshire Hathaway. Oh my gosh.
What's his name? The old guy.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so blank.
I cannot believe. Total
Well,
blank.
both of us are totally blank. Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett, yes.
Got it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So some attribute it to Warren Buffett, but some attribute it to one of the presidents. I just heard that. Maybe Lincoln? I don't know. This could be wrong.
Don't know.
All I know is it's still a thing, and it's still an amazing thing when you compound investments. So the key is you can't wait till tomorrow to start.
So what do you tell people to do first? I mean, obviously, sit and think about what that looks like for you, what that number is, I'm guessing, and then what?
I think first and foremost, people need to dream a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they need to give themselves the permission to dream. And everybody sets this ceiling in their life, and it's usually like here. It's really, really low.
Yeah.
And they never think, what if I set it up here and I really had the freedom to do whatever I want with money and take vacations, maybe 5, maybe 10 per year, whatever else. They always set the bar too low based on where they are today.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest, barrier right there is first, you've set the bar too low. If you want to succeed in life and do big, bold, courageous things, you can't do it if your marker's down here. You obviously have to set the bar high of what those big, bold, audacious goals are. So I think that's first and foremost is you need to dream bigger.
Yeah.
You're limiting your potential. Everyone has so much God-given potential. We wouldn't be the controlling species on this earth if we weren't so dominant and had such amazing supercomputers right up here in this, bone structure, this head. My dad just called me bonehead all the time, by the way.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Wasn't very nice. Anyway, if we didn't have extreme capacity. So I think first you have to define, what your dreams, goals, and aspirations and what your number is, first and foremost. Second, now you can work backwards from it and say, okay, what would I have to do? Because wow, that's a lot, or that's crazy. What would I have to do? And if people are married, obviously this needs to be done with their spouse.
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, so what would I have to do to reach that number? What I'm doing today, will that do it on its own?
No.
And so you really have to ask yourself some questions. So I think most important is people have to give themselves permission to dream and realize it's okay to dream, because your reticular activator will start firing and you will be magnetized and drawn towards that dream and that goal if you define it.
Right.
But if you don't know what it is, you just wander aimlessly.
You've always been big on that, defining your goals.
Yeah, define your
How
goals.
important it is.
And how would we do that? On
Paper.
paper.
Write it down.
Because it's only a thought, or it's only just something you're considering until you write it down, and it becomes something that you've set into motion as you write it down. And when you see it over and over, obviously it gives you a reminder, and that reticular activator starts firing, and you start becoming magnetized towards the big thing, the thing that you really want, your dreams, goals, and aspirations. But if you don't define it, you don't even know what the heck it is. Right. Once you've done that, work backwards. Here's my number. I want, $5,000 a month, or I want $100,000 a month, or $500,000 a month. Fine, whatever. You're capable of any number you want. It's just a matter of what you're going to have to do to accomplish that. So, a common one, a lot of people like this couple, they're like, started out at like $6,000 a month. And I'm like, really? That's where you want to be, $6,000 a month? And after we had an extensive conversation, we realized, no, that's not it. He said, well, if I really set it to where I thought it would give me the lifestyle I want and cover the dreams and stuff that I'd like to do with the wife and my spouse and everything, it'd be $100,000 a month. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Great. That's $1.2 million a year. Fantastic. Do that.
Yeah.
Do that. Why not? You have the capacity. Doesn't mean it's going to come without nothing, because you're right here, right now.
Right.
But now you have a target. Until you set a target, you can never reach that in your finances, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, if you don't even know what it is.
Right. Yeah,
It doesn't exist.
Limiting yourself,
Yeah, so you stay stuck in that barrier forever. So that's the first thing, is define it. Once you define it, then you can work backwards to figure out how to achieve that. And truth is, anybody can do it if they're willing to do the work.
So what do? You tell people to take those steps, and then once they have their defined goals and their number, to work backwards. Like, what's a suggestion you would tell somebody? Just make a scenario up that you would say, like, something to do. Yeah, steps to take.
Well, we would look at where they're at now. So we would look at where those people are really at in the numbers and their financials and everything else, and then the number that they're dreaming of. And then we'd see what the gap is. And then we'd say, okay, what do you need to do? What things could you do, and what do you have to do to start coming closer to that number? And you start making steps. You find clarity on what it's going to take to get there, X amount per month. And then, as a business owner, entrepreneur, like I tell people, you'd be surprised how many people don't look at their numbers at all.
Yeah, who don't know.
You know why? Because you don't want to look. Because you want it to be much better, and you think if you don't look, it's just going to be better.
Right.
And like that changes something. And it doesn't. It's actually worse, because you don't know where to improve, where costs have risen, where to cut some costs. You don't know what to do, because you're not even aware what the numbers are.
Yeah.
So it's crucially important to be watching the numbers. But then you know where you are, and you decide, okay, what has to happen in my business to get to this point per month now? And now you've got a target, the pressure's on.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, okay, if I need this much, if I can make, X amount by doing one sale per month, for like real estate agents, if I need to sell, 6 more houses a month, great, that's great. Then you need to figure out
on it.
what you're gonna get on and what your plan is per day to work closer towards those extra 6 per month, which means you're going to have to step up, your calls, your circle of influence, and you're going to have to reach out. You may have to start going to events, whatever, but you've got to get out there. And if you want it bad enough, guess what? You'll do it.
It'll happen, yeah.
You'll do it. So because these big things don't happen without the work down here.
Right. And you always give people homework when you're coaching them. You always give them steps and
Always.
homework to do.
Yeah, always give them homework. So the key is never just to make income.
Right.
Because then you are always a slave to the dollar. You'll always be a slave to the dollar. So if somebody is going to win, if you want to win and you truly want the freedom that we all desire, it comes one way, and through passive income. So if you're doing the work, you're in the hustle, you're in the grind and those things, that's all great. Everybody has to do it. Everybody has to pay the price. There's no free ticket. There's no free ticket. So once you've paid the price and you start earning some extra, you better figure out what your plan's gonna be for your freedom number and start investing into that so you can start creating a passive environment that doesn't require you. Because guess what? Like with most real estate agents, when they take a break and they're not selling, what happens?
There's no money coming in.
There's no more money.
Yeah.
The money stops. How is that freedom?
It's not freedom.
Yeah. So, the conversation is whenever you talk to like an agent, and we're just using them as an example. Well, that's great. So what do you need? What would improve your business? I just need more sales. I need more listings. Oh, great. So you're telling me you want to work more? Oh, no, gosh, no, I don't want to work anymore. Well, how do you do that? If you need more listings and more sales to make more money, then you're going to have to work more, right? To work on all those. It's not just going to happen. And that's the massive difference when you start investing your money in real estate or businesses or other entities. There's all kinds of ways to create passive income. But when you start investing into other resources to where some of the money you're making is starting to make money, then it compounds and grows in time. That's where freedom comes from. That's where the freedom comes from. So, all that said, if this is all new to you and you really haven't thought about the passive side of creating money, but you want to, and you realize, look, I've got to create passive money, or I'm just going to be a slave to the job and to selling my hours for the rest of my life, potentially. Then first things first, you define what that number is so you know what your target is, and then see what the difference is from where you are now to that number here. Figure out what the gap is, how you need to do that, and then start using some of that money to funnel into passive investments or something that's allowing your money to make money. When you do that, that's where the power comes from. And that's the way God intended us to live, right? Prosperity, freedom. All I know is when money comes in and it's not tied to your stress level and your performance constantly, life feels different.
Yeah.
It's better. That's all we got. Hey, if you like this video, please comment, subscribe. If you're in real estate, obviously that's part of my world, is different businesses, but real estate is a prominent part of my world as well. There's so much opportunity for you. If you want to know more, just type in the comments passive, and I'd love to connect with you and share a little bit more about what that looks like if you are not somehow creating a passive system right now, today, in your career that's allowing you to slowly step away because it's starting to create on its own without you. Comment in the section below, and I'd love to chat with you about that.